When Louise Marie-Madeleine Fontaine was 16 years old, she married Claude Dupin. For 21 years, Claude Dupin had been the personal secretary of the king. In 1732, Claude Dupin bought one of the most elegant residences in Paris, the Hôtel Lambert on St. Louis Island. In Hôtel Lambert, Madame Dupin becomes the center of a literary and philosophical circle. In her salon, she hosts people like Montesquieu, Voltaire, and Diderot. In 1733, Claude Dupin buys the chateau of Chenonceau. A few years later, Montesquieu's confessor, Father Costel, introduces a young Swiss to Madame Dupin. This young man immediately falls in love with her, passionately in love. He visits her daily and starts to write the most passionate love letters. Madame Dupin feels ill at ease and pressured. Her stepson comes to her aid. He returns the love letters and tells the young man that he is not welcome at a daily basis. Jean-Jacques Rousseau is furious. What an offense! His pride has been hurt. But despite his hurt feelings, he accepts Madame Dupin's offer a couple of years later to become her personal secretary and the private teacher of her children. He loves the chateau of Chenonceau. Quite an update from his little shabby apartment in Paris, which he shares with his mistress, Thérèse Le Passeur. Thérèse seems to be a kind-hearted person. But good gracious me, do you think she could read? No. Do you think she could tell the clock? No. You think she knew the sequence of the month? I'm afraid not. Well, what did she know? She knew how to get pregnant. While Jean-Jacques Rousseau is taking care of the correspondence of Madame Dupin in Chenonceau, she gave birth to a second child. And you know what? Jean-Jacques Rousseau exposes all his children, 5 in total. That is probably how he became the educator of France. In 1762, he publishes a novel called Émile, the greatest educational novel of the French Enlightenment. Not everyone was in awe with the famous writer, though. Voltaire expressed his aversion in a letter to a newspaper. This man who drags with him the luckless woman whose children he left at the door of the orphanage dares to give advice to our citizens. Such a one speaks of the duties of society. Put that in your pipe and smoke it. But Jean-Jacques Rousseau also conceived one of the most revolutionary thoughts of the Enlightenment. In the days of the absolute monarchy, he described the people, the nation, as a moral and collective body. And that was something totally new. In France of his days, the king embodied the will of God on earth. And therefore the king is the source of all law, the origin of all power. In his book, The Social Contract, the king is replaced by the people, the nation. All law, all power comes from the general will, the will of the people. The general will, the will of the people, became an overpowering force during the French Revolution, in which all forms of traditional power were swept away. And what happened to this beautiful Madame Dupin during the French Revolution? Strangely enough, neither her life nor her property was ever threatened. Somehow, the local population had not forgotten the genuine kindness that she had shown in pre-revolutionary days.